Now, yesterday here on BON News, we looked at the growing interest in EMBA courses at Chinese universities. But right at the other end of the educational age scale, a recently published report found that a third of all elementary school children in China suffer psychologically as a result of classroom stress and parental pressure. Over 2,000 9 to 12-year-old elementary school students were questioned for the study, which was published in a British medical journal.
Of these, over 80% said they were extremely anxious about exams, over 60% feared being punished by their teachers, and more than 40% had been physically bullied, and nearly three-quarters had been physically punished by their parents. In addition, most said they struggled to cope with the amount of homework that they were assigned.
Physical symptoms included over one-third reporting headaches or abdominal pains, typical psychosomatic symptoms of stress, at least once a week. The authors of the report blamed the extreme competitiveness of China's education system, as well as the emphasis on punishment. They warned that the problem was so serious that urgent measures needed to be taken. So what do Chinese people think of these findings? Well, we went out on the street and asked them in today's Straight from the Street. Here's what they had to say.
I don't think it's strange at all that so many students have psychological problems in China. Rural students have to study really hard if they want to make a better life in the city. And students in cities live in a very competitive society and face huge pressures. I think parents should communicate more with their children.
I really don't think there are so many students in China with psychological problems. Nowadays, kids mature much earlier than before. I think the main problem is the parents. They control their children's study too tightly. It's the same in every family. I think children are just so tired of studying. Parents should allow them more spare time for other things besides study and training.
I feel this is even more of a problem in China now because most families only have one child, so kids don't have many chances to communicate with others of their age except in school. And the parents push their children so much about studying, so it's more likely they will have psychological problems. These children will face enough pressure when the time comes to find a job, but now that pressure has been pushed onto them when they are still just kids. Parents and the teachers should communicate more with the children and draw up realistic study and training plans.
It's true students face enormous pressure, and that's mainly the fault of the Chinese education system. As it is, if you don't study, you can't compete with other kids. Although good exam results don't guarantee success, if you don't do well, you won't get into a good school, and your education will suffer. Some of my friends want to send their children to study abroad. I think Chinese educationalists should learn the education system in some Western countries.